Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Technobabylon. If you remember from last time, we got a mysterious email.
So, despite the incident at Animus, I may have some good news. We might have a break in that string of mindjackings.
Vanderwall agreed to talk.
Yeah. How'd you guess?
He couldn't hold out forever. What did he say?
Didn't want to talk over the...
Lau?
Central wants a word.
Dr. Regis, Dr. Lau.
This isn't just a social call for an update, is it, Central?
Dr. Regis, lately you have spent a great deal of your time off network. It is for your safety and that of the citizens that we...
Central?
All points bulletin, evacuation in progress at Barber's Gate Transit Station. Case officers Regis and Lau assigned to crisis management.
What's happening at the...
All case data has been transferred to Dr. Lau. Your vehicle has been rerouted. Please seek an expedient resolution to the situation. Central out.
Okay.
Business-like as ever. Let's go see what this is about.
Well, I mean, it is an AI. I guess we can't expect it to be too chatty. Alright, so, Central apparently has some idea that something's up, but in the meantime, we've been routed to stop some kind of emergency.
Advertising. It's all the same crap wherever you
It
Yeah.
looks a lot more impressive if you're wired, though.
So that's probably some kind of 3D advertisement that we get. Also note that up here it seems like there's a picture of a lady in a bikini, and then it turns into death.
Advertise.
It looked...
Yeah.
Sir, over here.
What do you got for me, officer? Agent?
I'm Dr. Regis. This is Dr. Lau. We've been assigned as crisis manager.
Doctor, I guess?
Corpseman Durian, 4th Network.
Has it gotten any worse?
Not yet, but we've not heard any word since...
Hey, I'm the only one here who hasn't got wiring in his head. Central hasn't had the decency to update me.
Well, you haven't called.
Oh, sorry, Charlie.
Well, it's another one, sir.
Another what?
A, bomber.
Another bomber. Well, we don't know about bombers.
What do you mean, another one?
This is like the fourth this year I know of. Central's been doing its best to keep public awareness down.
I guess it doesn't want public panic about it.
Or it doesn't want people to think we haven't got it under control. So how do you know about it?
I talk to people. I've got a social life, unlike someone.
Central marked him when he tripped a chroma sensor. Central locked down the trains and started an evacuation. It looks like he panicked and holed up in one of them.
Has the bomber issued any demands?
No, sir, he hasn't. Every time we got close, he just started yelling. Threatened to martyr himself. Kept calling us heathens and federals.
It means he's unstable.
But the fact that he hasn't done it yet means he's having second thoughts.
He didn't have a choice. He was made for this.
Regis?
He's a bio-bomber. The explosives are made of... they are his bones. That's how he tripped a DNA sensor.
So we're apparently pretty scientifically... we have a lot of scientific acumen, is what I'm trying to say. We would know just from the description of how they caught the guy exactly what his situation is, which does make it curious that we didn't know about the other bombings that had just happened recently. Anyway, I guess we can sort of pick our decision here. Obviously, I think, as an anti-Central man, we would want to look more to our partner.
What's your take on it, Dr. Lau?
Honestly, it's looking pretty lousy for him.
Yeah,
Doesn't look like he's got any human shields. I doubt an empty transit station was his intended target either.
Very astute.
Charlie, you're not gonna like this. Central's just bumped the priority. It wants the suspect neutralized.
What?
Stuff that. I'm going to talk him down.
Neutralized is a vague term. I'm gonna try to talk him down.
Regis?
It sounds like he's hesitating. You may be able to exploit that.
I agree.
Just in case. Get to high ground.
Fine. You probably know what you're doing.
The signal is hope. Don't fire until you hear me say it.
Hope. Got it.
Keep the public away, and run one more check for bystanders in the station. We can't afford casualties if this goes wrong.
It
Will
seems...
Central approve of this?
We don't have time to wait and find out. Wish me luck.
I bet Central could approve it immediately, but whatever. Anyway, so we've got some knowledge, and the core is apparently, I don't know, a little more disorganized than I would have thought. I would have thought with instant connections to a central AI, it could be dispatching orders quite a bit quicker than this, but
Hello?
I guess it's not quite there yet. Look at this poor guy.
Who's there? I just want to talk. I'm unarmed, and I'm opening the doors.
Not true. We do have a taser. But we're not going to use it.
What do you want, heathen?
So apparently, we've dealt with this kind of thing quite a lot before, which makes sense as we picked up on it earlier. Still, I like how there's this mass of sort of unmentioned past that we can kind of delve into for Regis here. Presumably, that might be one of the reasons why Central assigned us to the case. Also, they're still giving us little dialogue hints at this point. And, yeah, we can either go with our shared past and that he says American, or just, I'm a police officer, blah, blah, blah.
You sound like you're from America. Am I right? Texas, I'd guess.
Yes, you're right.
I thought so. I grew up there myself, near Fort Worth. What part do you hail from?
Houston.
Yeah.
I can remember what it's like out there. It's part of why I came here in the first place. I'm Dr. Regis, by the way. Some folk call me Charlie.
Thomas Beckett.
Like the saint. Nice to meet you all, Thomas.
That is an adorable approximation of a Texan speech pattern, while not touching on the accent at all. Well, it figures he's from Houston. You know, a Dallas bomber would have done it right. I don't know. I'm making up Texas rivalries there. Anyway, so we found out that we're American, and apparently they're turning people into living bombs in the American South here in the future. So, I guess Trump won the election. Ah, topical humor.
So, how do you like the city?
It's a wretched den of sin, like Sodom or Gomorrah.
Well, it's not my favorite, but I wouldn't go that far. I take it you're not here as a tourist.
I'm here to do my duty and strike a blow for the Lord.
Really? We're a long way out from the war here. Whole other continent, in fact.
Yes, I know.
I got lost.
But now I'm surrounded, and I must make use of what I have. The fire within me.
Buddy, I don't think you were made to last, and I don't think you're accidentally here. Somebody brought you here, on purpose. So I would think telling him he's not going to last very long would encourage him to just blow himself up, however he would do that. Let's see if we can ask him a little bit about his condition.
How's the scoliosis?
What?
And the osteoporosis, the rickets, and the diabetes.
Man.
How do you...
It's a common side effect of sloppy prenatal genetic engineering. That and having your body lay explosive nitrates in your bones instead of calcium.
It's a test of our faith. Only the truly worthy who can...
It shows just how little the Gengineers who made you cared about your health. They made you to walk and to carry a bomb in your bones. The fact that you're a living, feeling, thinking human was merely an inconvenience.
And there's Lau with our sniper support. This is a pretty tense scene, I will admit. I always like a game where there's...
Regis, I'm in position. Visibility good, 0 crosswind. Standing by.
There have been times when I've lost faith, but I can't let this be one of them.
So yeah, we could just say hope and get him exploded or whatever. Let's see what we can say. We could stay steady like we did before. I don't think don't do anything stupid is good. No use insulting him. We don't need to to shoot him right just now. Let's see if we can sympathize with him and get under his skin a little bit. Well, maybe we should tell him. It said find common ground. So let's say we've talked about with people like this before. Maybe we can convince him we can help him somehow.
I used to work with guys like you a whole lifetime ago.
The Lord's warriors?
Something like that. Kids who'd been altered, weaponized youth. You've grown up with so many health problems, groomed since birth for a noble sacrifice. But does this seem like the glorious role you were promised?
It is my duty to God to sacrifice myself.
In an empty transit station, thanks to a piece of bad luck?
This wasn't where I was supposed to go.
Oh.
Even the original target. It doesn't seem to fit with God's plan. But if I agreed to go with you, I'd have failed in my duty. I'd just be a prisoner in a strange land.
For the Lord hears the needy and does not despise his own people who are prisoners.
Well, dang.
Psalm 69, verse 33.
You're right. Wherever I am, I'm always in the Lord's sight.
There are more ways to do his work than destruction. We can help you find it. We can probably even fix your bones.
All right. I shall not resist.
Thomas, you've made a wise choice. More importantly, you've made it for yourself.
Well, look at that! Who is the best agent? It is us.
Corpseman, the suspect has surrendered. Take him into custody. Carefully.
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah, he's got nitrate bones, so you're not going to want to jostle him too much. Well, so...
Regis, that was amazing.
What can I say?
Central's going to be pissed, though. That was a huge risk.
Screw Central. Come on, we've got work to do. The Corpseman can handle it here.
Yeah, with a little help from the bomb squad.
So that was, in my opinion, absolutely the ideal outcome. And yes, you absolutely could have solved that in a number of ways. You could have had the guy snipered to death, and you could have failed and got yourself blown up. I think you can run away in some cases, but sometimes you just hard fail. Anyway.
So, Vanderwall finally agreed to cooperate?
Yep, said he could give us a head start on the minejacker.
We'd better not keep the man waiting then.
Here's something that I really appreciate about the game, which is that there are just a variety of different environments and scenarios they put you in. That last one was basically all social engineering. Not every dialogue choice do you just have to pick the first option and stick with it all the way through. You kind of go and, you know, try to socially engineer the situation, try to think what the person would want and how you can interact with them. And I really appreciate that. Now, we're thrown into this situation where we have to get to talk into Gil Vanderwall.
Vanderwall, you there?
And...
You sure he's in?
He told us to meet him here. Central hasn't logged any departures from this floor since this morning either.
That's a bad sign, and now we're back in a puzzle. First off, let's see if Central's mad at us.
This is Regis. Come in, Central.
Central standing by.
We can actually, I think, get Central to just unlock the door remotely, but that's not so good. Let's talk about some other stuff.
Central, please advise on our current objective status.
Subject, Gil Vanderwall is to be questioned regarding case file RE8473A, the Mindjacker.
Right.
According to your reports, it is believed that he may have information regarding the suspect.
He came to us in the end. Wants to spill his guts.
A meeting has been arranged at Vanderwall's apartment, 28A, Elysium Towers. Debrief the subject and report any pertinent findings.
You know, with the fact that the door's locked and he's not responding yet, I'm starting to wonder if that phrase, spill his guts, might be a little too appropriate. Or maybe he's on the run, or maybe there's a trap, or, you know, the game keeps you guessing.
Central, about what happened at the station.
Sorry, Central.
Post-hoc review is currently underway. Debriefing will take place following your return to cell.
Let's leave it at that for now, then.
I think they say that regardless.
What do we know about Gil Vanderwall?
Subject, Gil Vanderwall, age 57, blood type AB positive. Born in Pretoria in the Federation of Southern African State. Married to Dakari Vanderwall, former Olympic athlete.
How long's he been in Newton?
Immigration, March 2068. Awarded residence due to outstanding personal contributions to art and culture.
Despite his shady history?
Though accusations have been made of connections to organized crime, attempts at prosecution within the FSAS have all proven unsuccessful, as his social activity index has remained above 50. No further investigation has been taken by Cell.
Well, that's nice that his social number is above 50. You know, it sounds a little silly, though, to say it, but I do remember reading a story about, I'm not sure if this is still ongoing, but there was a social index number being put forward by, I believe, the Chinese government and their sort of own internet. They would people would be monitored, and not only their own activity, but the activity of their friends would be factored together to give them a number based on like how socially compliant or outspoken they were, and certain privileges would be awarded for people with exceptionally high numbers. So this one in particular is not that much of a stretch.
So, how's things?
Heuristic and cognitive functions are operating within safe thresholds. Civic Stability Index is 5.9. Tomorrow's local UV Exposure Index is 11.
That's, great.
Don't...
You are not obliged to make small talk, Dr. Regis. I am aware that you are uncomfortable anthropomorphizing the central human interface systems.
Huh. Comes a lot more naturally to people like Lau.
I bet she doesn't make small talk either. But next time somebody asks me how's it going, I definitely want to say heuristic and cognitive functions are within standard parameters. Especially if I could do that with my voice. Alright, let's power through the rest of these.
What do we know about Vanderwall's connection to the Mindjacker?
Subject, Gil Vanderwall.
Yeah.
Before immigration from the Southern African Federation, Vanderwall was known to possess a number of links to organized crime.
Was known to?
And yet we still let him into the country.
He possessed a reputation as a fixer, arranging specialized talent for criminal organizations.
And for hacking the human brain, you need some pretty niche talent and hardware. The kind of people that Vanderwall would have had connections to in his history.
He had been placed on Cell's watch list, but then he made a most surprising move.
He came to us. Doesn't that pretty much confirm his involvement?
It merely confirms his awareness, not necessarily his complicity. You must question Gil Vanderwall.
Doesn't even really confirm that until we talk to him. Nevertheless, you start to wonder if things are getting a little bit too hairy for Mr. Vanderwall.
Any further updates on the Mindjacker investigation?
No additional reports from cooperating Cell departments.
It sounds like we're the only ones doing any work. Are we really sure it's the same perp?
Though prolific, forensics has confirmed the use of the same wetware substrate in all instances.
I guess there aren't many places you can get the tools to steal someone's memories.
Unless you grow them in your tub.
Do we know what he's after within his victims' minds?
The destructive nature of the tools used has left no suggestion of precision. It may be that the specific target is being disguised amongst generalized disruption.
Or he really is after their whole mind.
A possibility, though requiring exotic means of storage and transportation.
Yeah, holding an entire brain inside of a brain doesn't seem like it would make a whole lot of sense, let alone 14.
Do we have any potential suspects yet?
Likely candidates within Newton have had implicit constitutional protections revoked. They have been subjected to Series 3 enhanced interview practices.
But no successes?
None. In 6 months of activity, we have only the Mindjacker's victims.
I'm surprised. With all the memory thefts they've carried out, you'd think there would be a fence, or a buyer.
Perhaps they are making a collection.
Was that a joke?
Not at all, Dr. Regis. As you yourself note frequently, I have no sense of humor.
That sounded like a joke. Also, can we unpack that for a second? Where
Peace out.
I'm not going to ask him to unlock the door. Can we unpack where people have had their constitutional rights suspended, and we don't even seem mad about that? Like, we're mad that a computer tells us what to do, but the idea of constitutional rights just getting suspended, which kind of undermines the point of constitutional rights? That's fine, whatever. Hey, look at that. Hungarian artists to visit Newton. So they give us these little extra news things as the game goes on. I'm going to just kind of scroll through this sort of quickly, and if you were interested, you can, stop the video and read it and everything. I don't think they ever really have anything to do with the story, which I'll be honest, I appreciate. Although I guess they are peripherally related in that we're going to see an arts man. Not wired. Also, we're having soccer, and we're getting rain later. Again, suitably noir. Alright, let's talk to Max, and then we'll actually do some problem solving.
Hey, Max.
What's up?
So, what do you got?
I wonder if Central's hiding something.
I know.
Why do you hate Central, Charlie?
What? I don't hate Central.
You're always arguing with it. I've seen you sabotage more cameras than anyone. It does so much for Newton. The city runs like a well-oiled machine.
Maybe, but I think it's working in inappropriate areas.
What would count as inappropriate for a city coordinator?
Lots of stuff.
Like this. Fundamentally, policing is a human matter. Machines and synthetics don't commit crimes. I don't expect them to be able to understand how perpetrators think and act.
So, you're old-fashioned. You'd rather not talk about it. Maybe later?
That's a weird objection to have. And again, we're fine with rights being revoked and Type 3 interrogations, which involve like a dimly lit room and a nail board. Oh well.
Give me an update on the mind-jacking case.
Yeah.
Labs come back with the report on the body at Animus.
We can definitely link that one to our investigation.
Same MO. Victim was wired, brain burnt, but not consistent with a straightforward murder. More like a rapid, intrusive, and destructive brain scan.
So we're still going with memory theft rather than elaborate assassinations.
Exactly. No conclusive patterns on targets, I'm afraid. Vanderwall said he would give us a lead on the next victim, though.
So much for him retiring from organized crime.
Yeah, well, nobody believes that.
How are you holding up?
I'm okay. A little hungry.
I meant about what happened at the station.
I think you did the hard work on that one. Don't let it go to your head, though.
Obviously, she would be a little bit sadder if she had had to shoot a guy in the head. Or if he had blown himself up and we got away.
That bomber. He was American, wasn't he?
He certainly had the accent. Sounded
No,
Texan.
he didn't.
Did you know him?
Dr. Lau. Texas is an enormous place. I do not happen to know every single other person who lived there. And besides, I left well before he would have been born.
Do you ever regret doing that?
Not for a
What, are
second.
you kidding me?
Especially after seeing how it's gotten now.
There's warlords gen-engineering human bombers to, apparently just for the Westboro Baptist Church or whatever. So no, I don't think we feel bad about leaving.
There's more to what was between you and that kid, wasn't there? Like you said, you never met him before, but it seemed personal to you.
You're very perceptive, Dr. Lau. It's useful for an investigator.
You want me to stop asking?
There's a reason that kids like him, and hundreds others, exist. It's not because the seditionists thought that weaponizing the human body was the biggest innovation since air power, but the engineers that got to make these kids, for whatever reason, didn't say no.
Regis,
You could say I knew him too well, inside and out. That is what bothers me.
Knew him too well, so were you a engineer for the seditionists? Did you try to remember the Alamo by building a kid's bones with nitrate bombs in them? Oh well.
Any luck with the Mindjacker's airship?
Still nothing. Like I said, it just vanished.
And Central still claims there wasn't anything there at all.
But we saw it, Regis.
Exactly. Something's not right. I wonder if Central...
What?
Yeah.
Maybe. Like the machine. I don't know.
So, you'd rather not. Maybe later.
Alright, that's all.
Keep at...
Can do, Regis.
So, let's see what all we can do. What do we got over here? It's a dock for that thing, right?
What do you make of this, Max?
My parents' old bot used to spend much more time in the charger than doing its job. I kept telling them to get a new one, but they never like to spend until they have to.
Parents, right? Okay, they don't want us to obstruct the docks. That's good to know.
I don't get the appeal of this Cubist stuff.
Looks more like abstract impressionism to me. A classic piece by Chandler, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, that's a lot less impressive when you can call up a search inside your head.
Fair enough. But it's pretty clearly not Cubist, though. And we'll just take
You've never struck me as much of an art lover.
I'm not so keen on this kind of thing. The mag coil keeping it floating, however.
There we go. We'll just take that, I guess.
Nah, my apartment building's already got one.
Alright.
An adjustable magnetic coil, previously used to keep a piece of art floating in the air. That's not going to fit into the...
Please do not interrupt active drone.
Oh, sorry, active drone. Can I jolt gun the door? Yeah, that's the ticket.
Whoa, check out Regis taking the Elliot Ness approach.
You got it.
We don't have time to hang around outside. I'm just being expedient, as Central puts it.
Whatever. Vanderwall's not going to be happy about you busting his door.
Vanderwall can get stuffed. Because we are getting inside. And next time, we are going to find out what's going on with this maid.
Gail, you in here? Oh, excuse us, miss. I'm Dr. Regis. This is Dr. Lau. We're cell agents. Miss, are you all right?